Hi there, I'm Kyle Simpson with Local Loop Farms, and to design the Local Loop Farm, the first thing we had to do was start with function and to define our goals of what we wanted to accomplish with the system. So we did some research and we looked at all these huge problems out there that the food industry and the world as a whole is facing. And what we found is that by the year 2050, there will be an additional 2.6 billion people on the face of this planet. And in that time, the world will be increasingly urban and also increasingly resource constrained. And so looking at our current food system, for instance, you'll find that roughly 1/5 to 1/3 of all global greenhouse gas emissions come from our food industry. And 1/3 of that food never even reaches a plate. It's completely wasted and it's sent to a landfill or it's lost in the fields. And so we looked at nature and how does it handle food waste and how does it recycle materials and how does it produce food. And what we found ultimately is that nature is locally attuned, it runs on sunlight, it recycles everything it's given, it optimizes rather than maximizes, and also rewards biodiversity. So we created a system that completely matches these attributes, or as best we could, and we ended up with a freshwater ecosystem that contains algae, bacteria, insects, invertebrate, fish, plants, and all of these work together in unison to feed each other and create a better, more vibrant community and ecosystem. And so what that allows us to do is bring in local waste and convert that local waste to proteins. And those proteins we can then use as animal feed for our fish. And we feed these fish, the fish create waste which feeds the local bacteria within the system. And this bacteria then creates fertilizer for the plants, and those plants then clean the water for the fish again. And this whole system works in a closed environment, constantly recycling its own resources. And so what that allows us to do is sell local produce that was produced using waste as the only input to the system. And because of this, and because of what we learned, we know that biomimicry will allow us to end food waste, reduce emissions, restore our natural environment, and improve food security around the world.